The first... You're scaring Joy.
I don't know what's happening.
The first night of the second round of the Democratic presidential debates happened in Detroit last night, and battle lines were drawn between progressives and moderate candidates, even though Mayor Pete Buttigieg says it's all the same to Republicans. Take a look.
It is time to stop worrying about what the Republicans will say. Look,
Yes.
if it's true that if we embrace a far-left agenda, they're going to say we're a bunch of crazy socialists. If we embrace a conservative agenda, you know what they're going to do? They're going to say we're a bunch of crazy socialists. So let's just stand up for the right policy, go out there and defend it.
Medicare for All is comprehensive. It covers all health care needs. For senior citizens, it will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know
Second
that.
of all.
You don't know that,
Second
Bernie.
of all.
We'll come to you in a second,
I do know,
Congressman.
and I wrote the damn bill.
I think Democrats win when we run on real solutions, not impossible promises.
You know, I don't understand why anybody goes to all the trouble of running for president of the United States just to talk about what we really can't do and shouldn't fight for.
So who won this tug of war between progressives and moderate candidates? Who stood out for you last night? Who did it?
I thought that Joe Biden won, even though it wasn't fair. And I'll tell you why. Because, I love Elizabeth Warren, but this Medicare for All with the exclusion of private insurance is the death knell of the party, in my opinion. And, I have Medicare, and I also have a private insurance. I like all of it. I want all of it. And I just think I will vote for any functioning adults at this point. But I don't, because look at what we have in the White House. But I'm not sure that these independents Americans don't want to give up their stuff. We've got it, we want it, and she just I think she's making a big mistake. And so that's why I say Biden won, because he's in the middle.
Right. How about you?
Well, I agree with you on healthcare. We were texting each other last night. I think that it's really important that Americans be given a choice. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being sort of moderate on health care. We know that it's the #1 issue for Americans right now. And I think that's where Democrats win as opposed to Republicans, because all Republicans have been doing is trying to take away the Affordable Care Act with no plan in place. And so as a Democrat, if you're running for the presidency, I think you say, yes, you can have Medicare, but if you are happy with the insurance that you have, then you can keep that too. So I think you're really off message if you are Elizabeth Warren, but she had a good night. She had a good night because I think she appeared fearless. But Bernie Sanders had a good night too. Yeah. So I don't know that there was
a good night because he was up.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was feisty, right?
Yeah.
He was feisty.
He was awake.
He was awake, and I got to tell you, Marianne Williamson. I mean, she freaking had a good night, too. And she's talking about dark psychic forces. And I was like, I don't know. So it just seemed very even to me. It just, I didn't see standout.
Right.
Oh, we have a clip, I'm being told. Of who?
Right.
Of Marianne? Oh.
Flint is just the tip of the iceberg. This is part of the dark underbelly of American society. The racism, the bigotry, and the entire conversation that we're having here tonight. If you think any of this wonkiness is going to deal with this dark psychic force of the collectivized hatred that this president is bringing up in this country, then I'm afraid that the Democrats are going to see some very dark days. It's $500 billion, $200 to $500 billion, payment of a debt that is owed. That is what reparations is.
Okay. So what did you think?
About Marianne Williamson?
Just about the whole evening.
My dark crystal red witch princess, please hit me with so much crazy. I love her for how insane I think she is. And again, I'm the conservative at the table, but she is, it is so off the wall for me, but highly entertaining. So please come back to the show, come back, continue your debate stage. I will say big losers last night. Amy Klobuchar and Beto had to do better than they did last night. Completely forgettable performances. I don't know who got them prepped. Just not good enough. Mayor Pete, when you're talking about Republicans are going to paint everybody as being socialist, that's just ridiculous and a really good way to lose the moderates. I thought you, as the South Bend, Indiana mayor, were trying to get. Do you know who I don't think is a socialist? Joe Biden. I don't think Tulsi Gabbard is a socialist. There are many candidates on the stage. I don't think that. So please don't put in my mouth that I'm going to paint all Democrats as socialists. I don't think there's a socialist sitting at this table with me. I think that is a cheap talking point, and I used to like him. One more, I will say, Elizabeth Warren's capacity to stay on message is brilliant. It is art. I haven't seen a politician be able to take a question from Jake Tapper or Don Lemon or Dana Bash and be able to switch it to the way that she wanted and stay on message with a kind of conviction and anger that I think is really appealing to a lot of the Democratic voters out there who want that anger that they have harnessed in a rational way, not like psychic darkness
Did Buttigieg have to keep reminding us that he was younger than Bernie's original
I thought that was
hips?
so obnoxious to you.
You know what I mean? He kept saying, as long as I've been alive, I'm young, and you're old, is basically what.
Yeah.
And Bernie's like,
I've taken a total turn on him.
Well, I did
stepped in that a bit.
I did point that out to when he was here.
You did.
You know,
yeah.
it's one of the things that I don't appreciate because there have been, again, I keep saying it, you all are standing on shoulders that have been fighting these fights for years.
It's terribly disrespectful, and I do not like Bernie as his policies, but I do think he did write the damn bill, and he's been in office for a million years.
But a lot of the ideas Elizabeth Warren has, he had first. Let's admit that.
It's that
a lot of these progressive ideas are Bernie's.
It's that generational divide that we've been talking about that we're seeing, I think, in the Democratic Party. But one thing I would like to mention, there was somebody that came here and remind me of that person who said reparations will never be part of the debate. Well, guess what? I can't remember, but reparations was a big part of the debate last night. Bernie Sanders, when he was on this show, did not want to talk about it. He was angry when I brought it up. I don't think he had a good answer for it. It was part of the debate last night. Marianne Williamson was really strong on it, but every single candidate, I think, addressed it because race is going to be an issue. I think the president has made it an issue, and the racial divide is going to be an issue in this
She was by far the number one searched Google candidate, by the way, Marianne Williamson. If you want to see the chart, that's America. Google searching my high priest, crystal priestess.
I'm a little scared
Marianne
about
Williamson right now. She was the number one
most
searched candidate.
She's interesting. She could run my psychodrama group.
Yes. Yes. And Joy refuses to invite any of us to this psychodrama
It's
group.
not up to me. It's not up to me.
Listen, you're speaking like we all want to go. Okay? We'll be back with more Hot Topics.
Later, J-Lo Rose.